going and sitting in the back of a church. I thought, I just want to go to church, man. You know, and to me, I relate it to the smell of that bread that my grandma used to cook. It's like I tasted that bread. And that's what I wanted of the Lord. I had tasted, you know, a little bit of Jesus in Sunday school, and it was like that longing, that emptiness, that hole. And so I remember sitting there in church, and the worship was great and everything. I was just crying and crying, and you know, I was stubborn. I was just stubborn. I was mean, and I was a fighter. It used to get me in a lot of trouble, but I knew that I knew what I wanted, but I couldn't find it. You know, and so Stan and I eventually, through many years, 14 years of doing my own thing and the drugs and drinking, sex, drugs, and rock and roll and all of that, you know, it was gradual for me. I came back to the Lord, a little tiny little Southern Baptist church, you know, and they just started loving on me. And then we moved up here and we started going to this one church that we were at for 25 years, and some really neat people. And it was home group leader, that this little Hispanic lady, Marla, and she came up to me one day and they offered prayer, you know, and I'm sitting there and I'm going, okay, you know, and I happen to go to her and her husband, and she just to this day does the same thing to me. She always goes, oh, mija, and she just started hugging me, and mija, daughter in Spanish, and it just riveted my soul. It just hit something in my heart, and she just to this day does that. She's always touching me and she kisses me and all of that, and you know, we're best of friends now. And they welcomed us and she accepted us. But even before that, I think the thing that really started bringing me back around was this grandma of mine. You know, those praying grandmas, they do something. They do something. And she accepted me unconditionally. She knew what I was doing, and it broke her heart. But she still loved me regardless. And that to me was showing just a little glimpse of how God felt about me. But I had so much guilt, so much shame, so much regret. I mean, I did some horrific things I don't need to go into, but so much of that. And I just felt that I was too bad to come back. I read the prodigal son sometimes, you know, the son that goes away and comes back in the Bible, and I think, man, that was me. It was just God's arms just open wide, and these people just started loving me at this church, and it started softening my heart because I'd grown cold and I'd grown very hard. And I just, you know, just came to the point of just going, you know what, I need something more. I need to go deeper. I want something, because, you know, growing up and everything, I knew God and I knew Jesus, but today, in those days, I know Him. There's a difference of I knew about Him, but now I know Him. And it's so different. I want to bring them just the message that Jesus loves them, He cares for them, and He's there for them with arms wide open, man, just like He was for me, you know, accepted me where I was at. And I didn't stay there. So that's it, you know, and Danny wants me to say that we have a pizza oven, and we do have a wood-burning pizza oven, and it's awesome because it brings people in. They start making pizzas, and it's just allowing people to just be comfortable, and like people made me when I first started coming, you know, back to church, and I had thought I had gone too far, that there was no turning back. And that's such a lie, and you see these people just here, you know, our youngest sons, you know, skateboard friends, you know, over here, you know, rolling out pizzas, and we're just talking with them, you know, and different people of many different cultures, and believers, you know, I mean, people that are Christian or people that aren't Christian or whatever, just come on.
A stranger in this world. I got home on high. in another land, so far away.